CPCE Crash Course, the Complete Human Growth and Development plus Abnormal Psychology Study Guide. Part 1, Lifespan Development, the Nature-Nurture Controversy, the Memory Hook. It's not nature or nurture, it's nature and nurture doing a tango. CPCE Fact. Human development is the result of the interplay between genetic nurture and environmental nurture factors. Neither works alone. This debate has shifted from which one to how do they interact. The modern consensus, both matter and they influence each other dynamically. Example, nature, a child inherits genes for musical aptitude. Nurture, parents provide piano lessons and encouragement. Result, the child becomes a skilled musician. If a question implies development is only genetics or only environment, it's wrong. Look for the answer that acknowledges both. 2. The development of the central nervous system. The memory hook. Brain building. Happens early and it's use it or lose it. Key concepts. Critical periods equal windows of time when the brain is especially receptive to certain experiences. Language, attachment, sensory development. Neuroplasticity equal brain's ability to reorganize and form new neural connections, higher in childhood but present throughout life. Pruning equal unused neural connections to get eliminated. Use it or lose it. Myelionation equal nerve fibers get insulated, speeding up transmission. Continues into young adulthood. CPCE Gold. If a question asks about optimal times for language learning or why childhood trauma has lasting effects, critical periods, and brain plasticity. Cognitive development. Already covered in previous crash course, see Piaget and Vygotsky. Quick refresh. Piaget, sensomotor, pre-operational, concrete operational, formal operational. Vygotsky, ZPD plus scaffolding. Gender and cognition. Research shows minimal cognitive differences between genders. Differences are largely due to socialization. Age and cognition. Fluid intelligence. Processing speed, problem solving. Peaks in young adulthood. Crystallized intelligence. Knowledge, wisdom increases with age. Language development. The memory hook. Babies are language sponges. Give them the words. Key theories. A. Theories of language development. 1. Behaviorist, Skinner. Language is learned through reinforcement and imitation. 2. Nativist, Chomsky. Humans have an innate language acquisition device, LAD. We're biologically wired for language. 3. Interactionist. Language develops through a combination of biology and social interaction. CPCE application. If a question describes a child who naturally picks up grammar rules without explicit teaching, nativist/LAD theory. B. The nature of language. Phonology equals sounds of language. Morphology equals word structure. Prefixes, suffixes. Syntax equal grammar rules. Semantics equal meaning. Pragmatics equal social use of language. Turn taking tone. CPCE trap. Language development has critical periods. Children who don't receive language input early, example, severe neglect cases, may never fully develop language. Personality development. The memory hook. Who you become is shaped by temperament, experiments, and environment. A. Theories of personality development. Psychodynamic. Freud, Jung, and Adler. Unconscious drives, early childhood experiences. Trait theories. Big Five. Eisner. Stable characteristics. Openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, neuroticism. Humanistic. Rogers, Maslow. Self-concept, self-actualization. Social cognitive, Bandura. Reciprocal, determinism, Person, behavior, environment interact. B. Influences on personality development. Temperament equal innate behavioral tendencies, easy, difficult, slow to warm up. Parenting styles equal authoritative, authoritarian, permissive, uninvolved. Cultural context equal individualism versus collectivism shapes personality and expressions. C. Gender role development. Social learning theory. Children observe and imitate gender-typed behaviors. Cognitive developmental theory, Kohlberg. Children actively construct understanding of gender. Gender schema theory. Children develop mental frameworks about what's appropriate for their gender. D. Adjustment to aging, retirement, and death. Aging involves biological, psychological, and social changes. Retirement can be stressful, loss of identity, routine, or liberating, freedom, new pursuits. Death and dying, Kubler-Ross stages, DABDA, but also acknowledge cultural variations and grief. CPCE application. If a question asks about a retiree struggling with loss of purpose, frame it as a psychosocial adjustment issue related to identity and meaning making. Moral development. Already covered, see Kohlberg. Quick refresh. Pre-conventional equal punishment/reward driven. Conventional equal rule following, seeking approval. Post-conventional equal universal ethical principles. Gilligan's critique. Kohlberg was male-based or was male-biased. Women often use ethics of care, relationships, compassion, rather than abstract justice. Task and milestone theories of development. The memory hook. Development equals a series of tasks you master at each age of life. Key theorists. Robert Havighurst. Examples of developmental tasks. Infancy/early childhood. Walking, talking, forming attachment. Middle childhood. Learning academic skills, forming peer relationships. Adolescence. Achieving independence, forming identity. Young adulthood. Establishing career, forming intimate relationships. Middle adulthood. Raising children, achieving career success. Later adulthood. Adjusting to retirement, coping with loss. CPCE application. If a question describes someone struggling to establish intimate relationships in their 20s, they're not mastering the young adulthood developmental tasks. Family factors. A. Attachment. Already covered, see Bowlby, Ainsworth. The 4 styles. 1. Secure equal healthy, trusting relationships. 2. Avoidant equal emotionally distant. 3. Ambivalent equal anxious, clingy. 4. Disorganized equal trauma-based, confusing behavior. B. Divorce and remarriage. Impact on children. Can vary based on conflict level, parental adjustment, child's age, and support systems. Protective factors. Low parental conflict, maintaining routines, strong support networks. Risk factors. High conflict, parental mental health issues, economic stability. CPCE fact. Divorce isn't always harmful. Chronic parental conflict is more damaging than divorce. C. Maternal employment and daycare. Research shows high quality daycare and maternal employment do not harm children. Key factor. Quality of care matters more than whether mom works. CPCE trap. Outdated beliefs suggest maternal employment harmed kids. Modern research shows no negative effect when care is high quality. Risk and resilience factors in development. The memory hook. Risk factors increase vulnerability. Resilience factors build armor. Risk factors. Poverty, abuse, neglect, parental mental illness or substance abuse, community violence, lack of social support. Resilience factors, aka the protective factors, secure attachment, positive temperament, strong social support, effective coping skills, sense of purpose/meaning. CPCE gold. Resilience is not just toughing it out, it is the presence of protective factors that buffer against adversity. The effects of school. A. Teacher expectations, Pygmalion effect, Rosenthal and Jacobson. Teacher expectations become self-fulfilling prophecies. If teachers believe students can succeed, students perform better. If teachers have low expectations, students internalize it. B. Preschool programs high quality preschool. Example, Head Start improves cognitive and social outcomes. Effects are strongest for low-income children. C. Cooperative learning. Students work in groups towards common goals. Improves academic achievement and social skills. D. Ability tracking. Tracking equal grouping students by ability, high, medium, low. Concerns can become self-fulfilling prophecy. Low track students get lower quality instruction. CPCE application. If a question describes students underperforming because teachers expect less of them, that's the Pygmalion effect. School counseling. Functions of school counselor: academic guidance, career development, personal and social counseling, consultation with teachers and parents, advocacy for students. B. School counseling. Roles of the school counselor: counselor, individual and group counseling, consultant, work with parents and teachers, coordinator, organizes programs and services, advocate, fight for student needs. C. The school counselor and special education. School counselors collaborate with special education teams, support students with IEPs, individualized education programs, advocate for accommodations and services. D. Ethics, confidentiality limits. Must break confidentiality if student is in danger. Self-harm, abuse. Informed consent. Parents have rights, but counselors must balance this with student autonomy, especially with older students. CPCE trap. School counselors must balance student confidentiality with parental rights and legal mandates. Example, reporting abuse. Part 2. Learning theory. Already covered. See classical, operant, and social learning. Quick refresh. Classical conditioning, Pavlov. Peer neutral stimulus plus unconditioned stimulus is a conditioned response. Watson. Little Albert experiment, fair conditioning. 2. Operant conditioning. Thorndike. Law of effect. Behaviors followed by positive consequences increase. Skinner. Reinforcement increases behavior. Punishment decreases behavior. 3. Cognitive learning theories. Bandura. School learning through observation, modeling, and self-efficacy. Part 3. Abnormal psychology. The memory hook. Know your DSM categories. CPCE loves them. 1. Classification of mental disorders in the DSM-5-TR. The DSM-5-TR diagnostic categories, you need to know the big ones. 1. Neurodevelopmental disorders. 2. Schizophrenia, spectrum and other psychotic disorders. 3. Bipolar and related disorders. 4. Depressive disorders. 5. Anxiety disorders. 6. Obsessive compulsive and related disorders. 7. Trauma and stressor related disorders. 8. Dissociative disorders. 9. Somatic and related disorders. 10. Feeding and eating disorders. 11. Elimination disorders. 12. Sleep-wake disorders. 13. Sexual dysfunctions. 14. Gender dysphoria. 15. Disruptive impulse control and conduct disorders. 16. Substance-related and addictive disorders. 17. Neurocognitive disorders. 18. Personality disorders. 2. Neurodevelopmental disorders. A. Intellectual development disorder, intellectual disability. Criteria: IQ is less than 70. Deficits in adaptive functioning, self-care, communication, social skills. Onset during developmental period. CPCE fact. Formerly called mental retardation, terminology has evolved. B. Communication disorders. Childhood onset fluency disorder. Stuttering equal disruption in speech fluency. C. Autism spectrum disorder, ASD. Core features: social communication deficits, restricted repetitive behaviors and interests, symptoms present in early childhood. CPCE Gold. Autism is a spectrum. Presentation varies widely. D. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD. Subtypes: predominantly inactive, predominantly hyperactive/impulsive, combined presentation. CPCE application. If a child can't focus, loses things, and fidgets, ADHD combined types. E. specific learning disorder, dyslexia, reading, dyscalculia, math, dysgraphia, writing. F, motor disorders, tic disorders. Tourette disorder equal multiple motor tics plus at least one vocal tic. 3. Schizophrenia spectrum and other psychotic disorders. A. Delusional disorder, fixed false beliefs, not bizarre, otherwise function well. B. Schizophrenia, positive symptoms, hallucinations, delusions, disorganized speech/behavior, negative symptoms, flat affect, avolition, lack of motivation, anhedonia, inability to feel pleasure. CPCE facts. Schizophrenia is not split personality, that's dissociative identity disorder. Schizophrenia form disorder. Same symptoms as schizophrenia, duration 1 to 6 months, if longer than 6 months, schizophrenia. Brief psychotic disorder. Duration 1 day to 1 month, often triggered by severe stress. E. Schizoaffective disorder. Schizophrenia symptoms plus mood disorder symptoms, depression or mania. Bipolar and related disorders. A. Bipolar 1 disorder, at least one manic episode, may or may not have depressive episodes. B. Bipolar 2 disorder, at least one hypomaniac episode, plus at least one major depressive episode. No full manic episodes. CPCE trap. Hypomania is not mania. Hypomania is less severe and doesn't cause marked impairment. Depressive disorders. Major depressive disorder, MDD, depressed mood or loss of interest/pleasure, duration at least 2 weeks, significant impairment. Persistent depressive disorder, dyspnea, chronic low-grade depression, duration at least 2 years, 1 year for children or adolescents. Anxiety disorders, key disorders, generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, excessive worry about multiple things, panic disorder, recurrent unexpected panic attacks, specific phobias, fear of specific objects/situation, social anxiety disorder, fear of social situations, agoraphobia, fear of situations where escape is difficult. Obsessive compulsive and related disorders. OCD. Obsessions equal intrusive unwanted thoughts. Compulsions equal repetitive behaviors to reduce anxiety. Body dysmorphic disorder, preoccupation with perceived flaws in appearance. Hoarding disorder, difficulty discarding possessions. Trauma and stress-related disorders. PTSD, exposure to traumatic event, intrusive memories, avoidance, negative mood/cognition, hyperarousal. Duration is greater than a month. Acute stress disorder, same symptoms as PTSD, duration 3 days to 1 month. Dissociative disorders. Dissociative identity disorder, 2 or more distinct personality states, often linked to severe childhood trauma. Dissociative amnesia, inability to recall important personal information, usually traumatic. Somatic symptom and related disorders. Somatic symptom disorder, excessive focus on physical symptoms causing distress. Illness anxiety disorder. Hypochondriasis, preoccupation with having a serious illness. Feeding and family disorders. Anorexia nervosa, restriction of food intake, significantly low body weight, intense fear of gaining weight, distorted body image. Bulimia nervosa, binge eating plus compensatory behaviors, purging, excessive exercise. Binge eating disorder, recurrent binge eating without compulsory behavior, throwing up. Sexual dysfunctions, gender dysmorphia, and paraphilic disorders. Gender dysphoria, distress due to incongruence between gender identity and assigned sex. Paraphilic disorder, sexual arousal from atypical objects, situations causing distress or harm. Disruptive impulse control, conduct, substance abuse related and addictive disorders. Oppositional defiant disorder, ODD, angry/irritable mood, argumentative behavior, vindictiveness. Conduct disorder, violating rights of others and social norms, aggression, destruction, death. Substance use disorders, pattern of substance causing impairment. Neurocognitive disorders and personality disorders. Neurocognitive disorders, delirium, acute confusion, major/mild neurocognitive disorder, cognitive decline, example, Alzheimer's. Personality disorders, cluster A, ODD/eccentric, paranoid, schizoid, schizotypical. Cluster B, dramatic, emotional, antisocial, borderline, histrionic, narcissistic. Cluster C, anxious/fearful, avoidant, dependent, obsessive compulsive. CPCE Stouts question. A 10-year-old child has difficulty focusing in class, frequently loses school supplies, and often fidgets in his seat. The child's teacher reports that these behaviors has been present since kindergarten and occur across multiple settings, home and school. Based on this information, which diagnosis is most appropriate? A, oppositional defiant disorder, as the child is not following classroom rules. B, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, combined presentation, as the child displays both inattention and hyperactivity symptoms across settings. C, specific learning disorder, as the child is struggling academically due to focus issues. Correct answer, B. Explanation: the child displays symptoms of inattention, difficulty focusing, losing supplies, and hyperactivity, fidgeting, occurring across multiple settings, home and school, since early childhood. This fits the criteria for ADHD combined presentation. Why A is wrong: oppositional defiant disorder involves defiant, argumentative behavior towards authority figures, not attention, hyperactivity issues. Why C is wrong: specific learning disorder involves difficulty with academic skills, reading, writing, math, despite adequate instruction. The question doesn't indicate academic skill deficits, just focus and hyperactivity. Sign off. Human growth and development plus abnormal psychology equals your CPCE foundation. Know the stages, know the disorders, know the DSM categories. Your study strategy. 1. Memorize the big developmental theories: Piaget, Erikson, Kohlberg, Vygotsky, attachment. 2. Know DSM-5 TR categories and key disorders in each. 3. Understand developmental milestones and what happens when they're disrupted. 4. Connect the dots. How does early trauma affect attachment? How does ADHD impact school performance? This isn't just memorization, it's pattern recognition. Master the patterns and ace the CPCE.